Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. It's been like months since I've uploaded, and that's because I've had to work. I've had work, okay? I've had work. Look, COVID couldn't help me out forever, so let's see how much of the Alpha Protocol video we've actually got done then. Audio is recorded, and the first 10 minutes have been edited. This has taken me roughly an eternity because of my 4790K, a titan of a CPU back in the day. It's a shame that day was long ago. The problem is, it's now 2020, and this CPU is about as good at rendering and editing video as I am at making love to a woman. My wife is a very unsatisfied lady, let me tell you. So, obviously, with the return to work, I decided the absolute best thing to try and do is make a video that's over an hour and a half long, at the moment, if I don't fucking redo the entire thing anyway, and would take me roughly 8 years to edit together and render with my current rig and timetable. Oh yeah, and Raytic just dropped his review / critique video, which makes even attempting mine seem pointless, as his stuff is always top quality, and my videos, well, it'd be like comparing, say, a perfectly cooked steak with a Tesco value microwave meal you found partly digested inside of a homeless person after he died of explosive diarrhea. You get the point. His video is going to be good, mine one's going to be bad. Go watch his, it's incredible. So, since Raytic's review release has got me feeling like this, I thought I would make some shorter videos that wouldn't turn my CPU in some kind of liquid reminiscent of a processor. Wait, liquid? Liquid snake? Snake? So we're going to be talking about stealth games today. As I was editing and recording for Alpha Protocol, well, I say editing, it felt more like this, I started thinking about why it's one of my favourite games, even though I know it's bad. And it's because it captures a lot of things I love in my favourite video games. I mean, it captures them poorly. If the thing it was trying to capture was a 6-foot-tall man, it would bring a butterfly net, but at least it's trying. Alpha Protocol has this great RPG feeling of making choices and knowing they'll have lasting consequences, and what else do I actually fucking like? Well, after a long hard think about it, and looking at what games I would call the greatest of all time, I discovered that, well, in another life I must be one shady bastard, because all these games have one thing in common, and that's stealth. So what do I find so engaging about stealth? Well, there's lots of things, to be honest. Waiting for the perfect moment before striking, the feeling of cleverness you get when you pull off the perfect crime unseen and unheard, and that niggling doubt in the back of your mind that you're going to be caught like you were the last 18 times you tried to pull off this big brain manoeuvre. By that one guard who then alerts the entire universe and its nan to let them know where you are, what you look like, and what character is your favourite from Sex and the City. What can I say? These guards, man, they just know that I'm a Samantha. All of these elements are what, in my opinion, make up great stealth in video games. But let's examine more closely what stealth in games looks like and where it comes from. So, the first stealth game ever made, according to Guinness World Records, was a Sega arcade game called 005. That game carefully avoided being sued out the arse by the Ian Fleming estate by subtracting 2. And although I have not played it myself, I have watched and read up a fair amount on the game, and obviously it's old, and nowhere near the level of stealth gameplay seen in more modern entries. But this game gets the absolute fundamentals of stealth down, as it has the 2 most important elements, that being 1, places to hide. I mean, it's a stealth game. Having a stealth game with nowhere to hide would be like having the Catholic Church without paedophilia. And 2, clear and obvious limitations of enemies in the level. There are modern games that don't get these things right, for Christ's sake. But it's so important that you know, as the player, what the enemy can and can't do. This is shown off wonderfully in this clip. The flashlights the guards are holding in this room allow them to see in straight lines, and if you're in those straight lines, then you are visible to the guards. Fantastic. That means I can plan my approach around that, and using the cover in the room, and get the briefcase and escape. Perfect stealth encounter. This is probably the most basic implementation of stealth then. So what has been added to the stealth game formula? Well, the next game I want to look at is the stealth classic, Metal Gear Solid. Hideo Kojima, and some company he worked for at the time, really popularised the stealth genre with console players with this classic back in 1998. And after playing it for the first time recently, I can see why it's revered so much. I know, it's a sin to have not played this game, and that anyone who's a stealth fan should definitely have already played this. But in fairness to me, in 1998 I was still working out how to not shit myself, and stealth was probably beyond me at the time. And in the intervening years, I've not had a PlayStation 1 to play it on, and I'm still not great at not shitting myself. So what I'm trying to say here is thank you GOG, you're the best, and thank you for introducing me to this classic, and also, I may have to wear adult nappies, but that's none of your concern. Anyway, Metal Gear Solid is an incredible stealth game. The guards and cameras have visible sight cones on the map so you can see exactly what they're looking at any given time. They also respond to the guards being knocked out or killed if they are found, and they can call in reinforcements when you're spotted. All this against Snake's plethora of ways to get through the level, that being sneaking up behind guards and breaking their necks, tranking them from a distance, or just avoiding combat altogether with clever movement and patience, make for a great sandbox of stealth to play in. Now, although Metal Gear Solid is rightly remembered as a classic, there's a lot that does not hold up gameplay wise compared to more modern entries. For example, the latter half of the game wants to drop the excellent stealth for more boss battle centric combat, which is fine and I enjoy the boss battles, but combat is not this game's strong point, avoiding combat is. This is something that my favourite game of all time, well, I say favourite as of time of writing, Deus Ex Human Revolution falls victim to also. Although Human Rev is an immersive sim or a 0451 game, and not an outright stealth game, it is clear that it wants you to approach the game in a stealthy manner. There are stealth systems in place like sight cones, and as in many modern interpretations of stealth, the guards react to sound as well, and you can get augmentations that allow you to see enemy movements through walls, and get sound dampeners to reduce noise as well, and you can upgrade your hacking ability to assist with sneak. You get it, there's a lot of ways to sneak through this game. There's alternative routes to sneak through this game. There's loads of ways you can get through this game, like stealthy as fuck. The in-world issues Jensen faces are also usually much easier resolved and better handled with a deft touch and stealth, rather than FBI, open up! Meaning stealth is the optimum way to go through the game, for not only enjoyment, but for the story. So, you're going through the game, loving the stealth experience, using the tranq rifle from distance, and having to watch a bloody takedown animation every time you knock someone out. Seriously, Ardos, I love you, but please, just show Jensen smack them on the back of the head, and not in a bloody third-person cutscene. It's an immersive sim, I want to be immersed. Throwing me out of my first-person view to a third-person view takedown, just for it to switch straight back to first-person view, is as jarring a change as sitting on the remote and accidentally switching to the fucking thing whilst you're watching Teletubbies.
Tinky Winky, Tinky Winky, Dipsy, La La, La La.
Anyway, got off topic there. As I was saying, you was enjoying your stealth with your stealth kit and your stealth build and your stealthy stealth, but then you have to face off against this hulking beast of a brick shithouse, and the game goes, nope, we're an action game now, and your delicate health bar is about to have an experience similar to this car hitting this brick wall. In there, it's going to go from 100 to 0 real fucking fast. The fragility of Jensen, however, does bring me on to my next point, and that is that stealth games should make you weak. Look at Alien Isolation, for example. Now, obviously it's a horror game first, but its stealth is actually really well implemented. You have weapons, sure, and against the Joes and the human enemies, they can be fairly useful. But when the alien arrives, oh boy, I hope you aren't wearing white trousers. I've made too many references to me shitting myself. Your absolute best chance here is to hide and pray that the giant walking phallic with a tiny mouth heard a noise somewhere else and fucks off. Because otherwise... Now, when I say weak, I mean that you should die easily, not that you shouldn't have cool powers. You don't need to rely solely on cunning and walking really slowly in every stealth game for it to be a good implementation. For an excellent example of this, I point to none other than one of my favourite game series of all time, Dishonored. Corvo, Emily and Billy all have supernatural powers that make them unstoppable gods of murder, but these powers are still best utilised from the shadows. Being weaker also adds to the tension of the gameplay from moment to moment, as if you knew that a mistake would not be punished, then you can take so many risks that clever play is no longer rewarding. And if you had a health bar that was girthy enough to satisfy your mum, then the optimal route is no longer stealth, as you can walk into the room, tank everything and just go fucking ham. That's not to say that going ham with supernatural powers and your stabby device aren't good ways to go about completing your mission. The game just rewards clever, stealth-based gameplay more. The powers possessed by the playable characters of these games allow you to tackle the missions in many ways, whether that be the way you take out your target, or the way you get to your target. Let's say, for example, that I want to change this person here. Specifically, I want to change him from an alive person to a dead person. I can slice and dice him, shoot him of course, I mean that's boring but I can do it. But let's say I want to give it some pizzazz. I can make rats devour him, that's pretty neat. I can yeet him off the building, burn him, I can turn him into tiny meat chunks, or I wait up on high, freeze time, jump down, knock him out, wait for the other guy to pull his gun and aim it at me, throw the body at him, let the other guy kill him, and I just run away. Okay, now we're thinking with murder. But this time, I want to be like that old phrase, how's it go? If a tree fucks a Catholic in the woods, does a bear shit in it? Wait, I think I've got that wrong. I want to be unseen and unheard. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So, I do the old switcheroo on his poison drink that he prepared for someone else and make him kill himself, whilst I step out undetected. Or, if I'm not in a murdering mood at all, which I've been told can happen when the voices stop. They never stop. I can brand him as a heretic, casting him out into the streets as someone to be ignored, shunned, and eventually taken by the plague to live out a life of misery, regret, anguish, and eventually a slow, painful death. By doing this, I'm getting the good guy ending, so I'm a good person, and this is a great game. Having multiple solutions to problems in stealth games is great, as it really helps add to that smartness factor you feel when playing a stealth game. As the choice you made to get the job done really does feel like it was an organic one, made by and carried out to perfection by you, the player. And the last main thing I think is important, in fact imperative to the stealth genre, is related to that last point. Remember one sentence ago when I said this, carried out to perfection by you, the player. Yeah, so what happens when you fuck it up? Well, that's when the good stealth games really shine, and the bad stealth games fucking suck. Look, we all know stealth is at its best when you're planning what you're going to do and pull it off without a hitch. Sure, but the best laid plans of mice and men often come awry. But that's a good thing. Choices made in the moment with spontaneity and high risk can make the most memorable moments, and nothing infuriates me more than playing a stealth game or a forced stealth section in a game and having an instant game over for my left nipple sticking out slightly from cover and being seen by that one guard, seemingly at random. I'm looking at you, Assassin's Creed. Forced stealth boat missions. Are you having a fucking giraffe, mate? In fact, Assassin's Creed, for a game about assassins, you are one of the worst offenders for instant fail states. For being spotted one time. Way to completely kill a great aspect of stealth in games by making it so I can't react to a guard spotting me and trying to correct the issue before it becomes a problem. Fuck player agency, am I right, my dudes? Go enjoy some tailoring missions and I'll story about a fucking apple or some shit. What the fuck is Assassin's Creed even about nowadays? What are you? My hate for Assassin's Creed now out of my system, I'm going to show you the game series that I think nails the element of owning your stealth fuck-ups and dealing with the repercussions the best. And to be honest, I think for a lot of people, this series may be held up as the exemplar when it comes to stealth. So, Hitman. I am fucking awful at this game series, really. But I love it. I played Blood Money back in the day, but never really got into it. I played... name of the one with the nuns in it. I've written that. Fuck, I don't know. I played Absolution, but, well... Yeah, no. And then I played Hitman. No, not that Hitman. That Hitman. And damn, does this game get stealth mechanics absolutely down. You have a multitude of ways to go about each and every mission. You can kill your target in whatever way you see fit, whether that be loud and obvious like a trumpet fight in a grand hall, or a quiet and subdued little sneaky squeaker in a packed elevator. Oh, who has done this? Oh, I think it was Jerry, you say, condemning a man to a plethora of tuts and disapproving looks, whilst you got away scot-free. It is this freedom in the ways you choose to use the stealth mechanics the game provides that makes this series one of the absolute pillars of the stealth genre. One of the mechanics I love the most is Agent 47's signature ability of taking off other people's clothes after he knocks them out or kills them. The reason this mechanic is so good is that it allows for you to do what many games don't let you do, which is hide in plain sight. It again adds to that tension of stealth games that make them so great, and it allows for many more possibilities in the way you approach the target. And if we're being honest, it's a much more realistic way of going about stealth in a mission. If you can dress up as a chef and poison some sushi in order to get away with a murder scot-free, then why wouldn't you do that? This mechanic would be way too overpowered if it weren't for the fact that the developers thought about this and put in a failsafe in having certain people in the map be like, bruh, I swear that's Terry's uniform. It's got ketchup stains down the front, which is definitely a Terry move, and Terry does not look like a cue ball with a barcode. This means that when you get a new outfit, it does not instantly mean you can go wherever you want and do whatever you please. People will still be suspicious of you. Not to mention that there are many outfits in the areas, and you'll need to put certain ones on to get into certain sections. There is no one-size-fits-all outfit in any mission, and this facilitates the need to take other people out to get different outfits, which means that you are more likely to get caught, literally with your pants down, putting on another person's pants. This then turns into an avalanche of fuck-ups, where you're trying desperately to fix the last fuck-up you made, only to make more fuck-ups, and eventually you go to Old Faithful, which is, you've quick-saved, and now you spam quick-load. I've just remembered there's actually manual saves in this game. This game knows its greatest strength is its plethora of mechanics and ways to get shit done, as the whole game is based around replaying the missions over and over and over and trying to get everything that can be done in the game done. I mean, I think they banked on this a little bit hard in the first game, because you can't release one level every 4 months and go, that will tie them over. Stick with the Hitman 2 method, lads. Dump it all on us at once so that we want to replay every level to see all the unique ways of killing a target, rather than feeling like we have to because we're getting it piecemeal every month and it's the only way to make our purchase feel worthwhile. I think my favourite moment playing the Hitman series was in Hitman 2. The first mission, in fact. Although it's a tutorial, I had so much fun working out how I wanted to go about this mission, and I finally decided upon waiting. That's right. I sat in a linen basket in the bedroom, knowing it was dark out, and assuming that eventually my target would want to go to bed, and this eventually paid off. I got out of the basket, and I killed the target in their sleep, completely unseen and unheard. The patience I had to show and the long wait for this method to reveal itself made it all the sweeter when I managed to pull it off without a hitch. Was that? No, I did not step on the squeaky toy, waking them both up on the first time I tried this. What do you think I am? Some kind of amateur? How dare you, sir? How dare you? So, Hitman, at the moment, I think may be the god tier when it comes to stealth. But there are so many other great stealth games that I didn't cover here that are absolute must-plays. Things like the original Deus Ex, Thief, Mark of the Ninja, and Splinter Cell. Fuck. How have I done a video on stealth and not mentioned Splinter Cell up to this point? Oh right, probably because Ubisoft are fucking garbage and don't care about it anymore anyway, and rather pump out 18 more Assassin's Creed, Far Cry's, Ghost Recons and Watch Dogs in the next 2 years. Games that take a passing glance at stealth and go, oh, that's cool, but we don't care. You can stealth, but it's way more efficient to just walk in and start killing dudes. Even in a game called Assassin's Creed. Somehow, that's now a series trying to be a shit Witcher 3. So that's cool, I guess. What the fuck is the point of this video? I don't know. Stealth is pretty cool, I guess. I think as a mechanic, it can lead to the most interesting and satisfying gameplay around. I would love to see it utilised in more games and genres. Like maybe a VR game in the style of a Deus Ex, where it's an immersive sim with stealth in VR. It's just a perfect fit. It's called an immersive sim and it doesn't get much more immersive than VR. But I don't mean it needs to be worked into every big AAA game when I say this, or massive projects like VR. Small indie games should have it too. In fact, a great example of this is Among Us. I love that Among Us is the popular casual party game to play with friends at the moment, because it's literally all about sneaking around, distracting the other players, picking them off one by one and then lying about it when questioned. Sounds a lot like a stealth game to me, guys, I'm just saying. And I love that you can have matches play out like this, where you literally kill everyone and no one even notices.
That was a fucking massacre. That was
I was fucking dead for about 4 hours.
How did you... I was with Oddsy and Oddsy was alive.
In fact, Among Us is a great stealth game to show how versatile and replayable a stealth game can be. Even people who have no interest in playing games at all still really enjoy this one, and they enjoy it a lot. So, I guess what I'm trying to say with this video is, can I please have another Deus Ex game? Please, Eidos, pretty please. God, I'm begging you at this point. Oh yeah, and Assassin's Creed is shit. Anyway, happy October everyone. Maybe there'll be another video this year. Who knows? Stay safe and thanks for watching. Assassin's Creed is shit.